Hello everyone, welcome back to Penang for the ultimate Trails of Penang event, the 5th anniversary, and we're about to witness the start of this event, the 60 kilometer. That's the second points race of this event that it matters for the Asia Trailmaster Championship ranking, along with the 100 miles which started yesterday at noon. And as you can see already, for those who watched our live stream yesterday, the weather today is much better than it was yesterday. Pouring rain yesterday for 3.5 hours, but right now the sun's out. It's blue sky here in Penang for the 60 kilometer race. In the 60 kilometer race we have Chris Timms from Singapore, who is a late addition to the start list. Chris Timms was supposed to run somewhere else this weekend, but he had to make a reroute and ended up in Penang for UTOP, and it will be his first race of season 10. Let's not forget Chris Timms, he was 5th in the Asia Trailmaster final just over 6 weeks ago at Borneo TMBT. Right here, he's just in conversation now, is on the right we see Alexander Tilly. He is a resident here in Penang, he's also British, and he's making his comeback to the racing scene after taking 10 months off. Alex became a father after the ATM final last year in Indonesia. A final where he actually ended in the top 10. He was 10th in the Siksorogo Lawo Ultra. And Alex Tilly, he is also the winner of the Penang Eco race here, the 100k race, I should say, last year. So Alex Tilly is very familiar here with the routes, with the trails, and he will definitely be one of the victory contenders. But Chris Timms is in the best shape of his life, as we just saw 6 weeks ago at Borneo TMBT. Who else is here? Several runners. There's a few Grandmasters, but I would say that these two are probably the biggest favorites for the win in the men's race. The women's race is very open as well. We are about to see some new names, some new faces appearing on the podium. And that's always good at the beginning of a new season to have a few new names. It makes everything more exciting as the season develops. And the season in Asia Trailmaster now goes no longer from January to December, but now it runs from end of September until early September the following year. We're about 10 minutes out now from the start, walking around a bit to see if we can find some runners maybe to have a quick word with. Xiokong has just, race director Xiokong has just given the briefing for the 60 kilometers. And here we can have a bit of an idea of the arena here. What else can we tell you about the 100 miles race, for example? Here we have Grandmaster Rija Gubes, who also took part in Dieng Trail Run in Indonesia last month, and Aurora as well from Philippines, but living here in Malaysia. I was saying that Grandmaster Rija was DNF in Dieng Trail Run a month ago, and here we have Chris Timms. Rija is suffering with a bit of an injury and twisted her ankle there. Chris just arrived here, so I think he's still preparing himself for the start, so we will not bother him too much. 100 miles, so a lot of things have happened. We had 3 leaders for most of the race until this morning. In fact, there was Akmal Atsmi, the expected Malaysian, the tall Malaysian, who is a bit of a 100 mile specialist. We had Andrew Farmers, the Australian who lives in Sabah, and we also had Sung Lip Koo, who is also an ATM Grandmaster. And those 3 were always within range of each other, but at the end of the night Akmal Atsmi took an advantage of about an hour and a half over the other 2, and at kilometer 91 of the race early this morning, Andrew Farmers decided to throw in the towel. So he DNF'd, he quit, citing surprise of the difficulty of the trails here in Penang. He says it's much more technical than in Sabah, the terrain he is used to, and he decided not to continue though. So Sung Lip Koo inherited the second place, but he was immediately joined by another Malaysian, Tuan Hafandi. And Tuan Hafandi is currently, together with Sung Lip Koo, contesting second and third place in the 100 miles race for men. The women's race, Celestio was ahead for most of the race, for of the entire race in fact, but we learned that she also quit at that same aid station, CP4 it is, officially at kilometer 91, so Celestio is out of the race. Irish Glorioso already had to stop around midnight last night. She twisted her ankle. Apparently Celestio also twisted her ankle, and people claim, and this is not confirmed, that both of them, Irish and Celestio, independently of each other, twisted their ankle in exactly the same spot in exactly the same descent. So that's a coincidence, but the two race favorites in the 100 miles for women, they are out of the race, out of UTOP. And there is a Thai runner now in front. Benjamat Sofin, apologies if I mispronounce the name, but she is now leading the women's race, and as a matter of fact she's the only female left in the race. Here we have one of the runners from Sabah. Yes. People are now being asked to go to the starting line, so we will do the same. What a difference with yesterday. It might even be too hot now for some of the runners, even though it's already 3 p.m. So the runners will have about 3-4 hours in sunshine in daytime, and then it will become dark. And we expect the winner of the men's race, the 60-kilometer men's race, to come in around midnight. UTOP is a tough race. 60k here also not to be underestimated. On paper, Penang does not look that difficult. Okay, there's the numbers, there's the elevation gain that is pronounced, that is quite a lot, but nobody would expect a race in Penang to be so tough, given there is no high altitudes here or anything like that. There's no very long climbs, but the climbs here are very steep and the descents very technical. Here in the pink we have Frija. She was actually hoping to score her second Grandmaster star here in UTOP this weekend, but because of the DNF that she also suffered in Mantra earlier in the year, that proved to be impossible. We still have a few minutes, so I'm going to go to Alex and Chris to see. Alexander Tilly, Chris Timms, the two favorites for today, I would say. Alex, first of all, congratulations. You're back from, paternity break.
Yes, third kid came in July. Yeah, fat and healthy.
Yeah, great to hear. How is your shape then? Have you been able to train a little bit, or has that been difficult?
Since getting back in Penang in late August, I've had a decent training block, so feeling all right. But yeah, first one back, so see how it goes.
Can we assume that you know all the trails here?
Yeah, it's my backyard, yep. So I'll be sure to point Chris in the wrong direction.
All right, Chris, you heard that.
Local knowledge goes a long way, it really does. So I had the privilege of coming out with Alex on Sunday or Monday. It feels a couple of. I've been here this week, so he knows the trails really, really well, and he's pretty agile on them actually. Even though he's had some time off with children, he's in good shape. So
yeah. You've been here for a week, but actually you were not planning to be here now.
Yeah, it's complicated, but yeah, I was supposed to race in Seoul, but that didn't happen. So this is my. It's not a bad second choice, to be fair. So thank you for making it happen. But yeah, what a great day, and it's a beautiful place to race.
But you were also preparing for a runnable race, and this is a technical one.
This is true, yes.
How difficult is it to change your mindset?
We'll find out, I think, in about 10 hours, 12 hours. But yeah, no, it's a completely different race. This is a slow, Hisashi 9 hours 45 when he won it. That for 60k, that shows how how tough this is. I read somewhere it's one of the toughest per distance races in Malaysia, and I can see that. But the trails are beautiful. We're, as you know, kind of starved of that a little bit in Singapore. But yeah, hopefully a good race today, and good luck to everyone taking part.
Good luck, Chris Timms. Good luck, Alex. I'm going to be moving to the front of the start line, not to be in the way of anybody. Okay. We still have 3 minutes, as a matter of fact, unless they start earlier. Okay. All right. Okay, so we still have 3 minutes. A little bit of confusion here, also from my side. So the speaker was actually referring to our broadcast. The runners also did not fully understand, I think. So we still have 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go until the start line. This is an event UTOP with a lot of categories, and each of the categories therefore does not have a huge field. I think the biggest field is the 26 kilometer, I should say. That's the so-called Unicorn Trail that takes place tomorrow, and that has a field of over 200 runners. On this one here, I think we have about 80, if I'm not mistaken. We had 66 starters on the 100 miles, and that was good. A lot of people have DNF'd in the meantime on the 100 miles. The 100 kilometers also started last night. That race is only valid for the Grandmaster Quest. That's also one of the rules, is a big word, but guidelines that ATM is offering to the organizers to make a choice of 2 distances that matter for the championship ranking. Otherwise it also becomes a bit too easy to score points. So, and the choice was here for the 100 miles, not the 100k, as the long ultra, and the 60k is the logical choice for the medium distance. 90 seconds to go for the start of the 60k. As you know, we will be following the race as much as we can. Yesterday that worked out pretty well until darkness set in. We will be aiming to do the same. But the timing schedule of the 60k is such that most definitely the winner will arrive here in the middle of the night. We will be there. So if you need your sleep, you can of course re-watch that stream then tomorrow morning as you wake up. We broadcast live on Facebook and YouTube. You can also follow the headlines on Instagram. We have 1 minute to go now. So this is UTOP. Xiaokong earlier also referred to Penang Eco. That's his other main trail event. And in Asia Trail Master we alternate between the two. So Penang Eco was last year again, and should be back also next year. And as a matter of fact, Penang Eco might be redesigned, we learned yesterday. So that could be interesting to follow in 2025.
Let's count together in 10, 9, 8,
and
7,
here we go for the start of UTOP 5th anniversary, the 60 kilometer race.
1, go!
All right, that was the flag off, and that also signals, as usual, the end of this live stream. We'll be heading towards the first checkpoint. That's 8.5 kilometers into the race. It will take some time because there's some elevation and some technical stuff to be conquered to reach that CP. So we should be there on time, and then we can see who had the fastest start of this race. Thank you for watching this broadcast, and we'll be back with